Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by and watching my video. My name's Eric, and today I'm going to show you how to make smoked baby back ribs without a smoker. Now, I have a smoker. I have a lot of smoking videos. I encourage you to check them out. In fact, I have a video of how to smoke ribs completely in a smoker. I'll leave a link below. But I have a lot of people who've messaged me saying, man, I love your videos, but I don't have a smoker. So this video is for you guys. You do need a sous vide machine if you don't have a smoker. This is my newest cooking utensil toy that I absolutely love. It's a water immersion circulator, and it cooks meat absolutely perfectly. So check out some of my sous vide videos on my channel when you get a chance as well. But today I'm going to attempt the first time to make smoked ribs without a smoker. I have two full slab of pork back ribs. We're almost 7 pounds, so each one is over 3 pounds. And I'm going to be putting some liquid smoke, brushing liquid smoke on there to kind of give it the smoky flavor. And I'm also going to use a slight bit of pink curing salt or Prague powder #1 to kind of get that smoke ring. So it's going to look like the real deal. Hopefully it's going to taste like the real deal. But I'm going to get these unwrapped right now, and I'll show you the first step, which is to remove that membrane on the back of the ribs, and we'll get these things seasoned up, and I'll show you the next step right now. All right, guys, the first thing you want to do is take the ribs out, rinse them off real well. We want to remove the back membrane on the bottom side of the rib, because that's a tough piece. We want to get rid of it. That'll make sure that the liquid smoke and the curing salt gets to soak into the meat, as well as you know, the flavor, the rub I'm using. Today I'm using Famous Dave's rib rub. I've never tried it. I saw a video, or I should say a TV show, a couple weeks back on barbecue, and they featured this guy, Famous Dave, and he's a very popular guy, and I figured, you know what, I saw it at the store, why not try that? It's specifically made for ribs. So anyway, you want to take a small knife and just cut along the edge of the rib just to get a little bit of that membrane loose like this, and you want to try to stick your fingers up underneath it, and once you do, you hopefully will be able to pull it all off in one piece, and I'll show you here. There we go. Boom. That's the membrane we want to get rid of. So obviously these are a full rack of ribs. I'm not going to be able to fit this into my sous vide container. So I'm going to cut these into sections of ribs, maybe 3 to 5 ribs a piece. And I'm going to probably put 2 or 3 in a bag. So I'll probably have 3 or 4 bags with these 2 full racks of ribs. So I'm going to remove the membrane from the other rack. I'll cut these into pieces, and I'll be back in a second to show you the next step. All right, guys, welcome back. I've cut one slab into 4 pieces, so it looks like I'm going to have 2 pieces per bag, so I should have 4 bags. 2 on each side will be perfect. Now, as far as pink salt for the smoke ring, this is completely optional. It's not going to change the taste of anything. So if you don't have the pink salt, feel free to still do it without it. I have some because I like curing stuff. You can check out some of my other videos. You just want to be careful because they don't recommend more than 1 level teaspoon per 5 pounds of meat. So since I have 6.5 pounds, it's around 5 pounds of meat if you take out the bone weight. So each slab should take a half a teaspoon. So what I've done is I took 1 level teaspoon of salt and just a half a teaspoon of that pink curing salt. And I'm just mixing it up in a little bowl here. I don't want to add too much salt because this rib rub that I'm putting on it has some salt in it, although it's not the first ingredient, it's the 3rd ingredient. And I don't want to add too much salt to make it too salty. But we do want to get some salt on these ribs with that pink curing salt. We want to let them sit for probably 15-20 minutes just to let the salt kind of dissolve into that meat and start making it ready to suck up some of those juices and stay moist. So I'm going to do 2 separate batches. Each slab of rib, I'm going to use 1 level teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of the curing salt. You want to adjust the mixture based on, you know, how heavy your ribs are and so forth. But don't exceed 1 level teaspoon for 5 pounds of meat, and account for the weight of the bones as well. So all we're going to do, once we got it mixed, we're just going to sprinkle it generously on both sides of the ribs, and we're just going to let that kind of soak in, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to both racks of ribs. And then I'm going to go put these trays in the refrigerator for, like I said, 15-20 minutes. That'll allow enough time for my sous vide machine to heat up. There's a couple different options here as far as cooking times and temperatures. I'm going to cook this at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. I've made this once before. That seems to be the perfect temperature for me. It's not fall off the bone type of meat. You still have to pull it a little bit, but to me the consistency is great. I don't like it when it's so overcooked, which is typically what happens when you cook them all day in the smoker. You know, some people like it when you just put your mouth on a piece and the whole bone pulls out completely clean. I like a little bit of more texture to it. So I'm cooking it at 165 degrees. We want to cook it for a minimum of 4 hours. But the great thing about the sous vide machine is you can go all the way up to 12. So my mom's coming over later on this afternoon. I'm going to stick it in here and I'm going to set it for 12 hours. And as long as it's past 4, we're good to go. And we're just going to finish it off in the oven with some barbecue sauce. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to finish, like I said, sprinkling these with a little bit of salt, and that pink curing salt. And we'll let them rest in the fridge. And I will be back in a second to show you the next step. All right, guys, welcome back. I've had these ribs sitting in the refrigerator around 20 minutes with the salt mixture on it on both sides. Now, basically, we want to apply a thin coating of liquid smoke. Now, this liquid smoke can be pretty overpowering, so we don't want to go crazy on it. What I've done is I've taken 3 tablespoons of regular old water and a tablespoon and a half of liquid smoke, just to kind of dilute it a little bit. And then what we're just going to do is take this mixture and apply it with a brush on both sides of the ribs. Pretty basic. What we're going to do then is apply a rib rub of your choice. Now, I bought the store-bought. There's plenty of homemade ones you can make yourself, you know, with a mixture of paprika and salt and pepper. But most of the time, to me, it seems like it's a little bit easier if I just buy the store-made stuff. I'm kind of anxious to try this Famous Dave's. So you're just going to rub it on there like that. And let me pop this open. Where are we here? There we go. Now we're just going to apply generously this rub. I didn't tell you guys too. I told you I'm cooking this at 165 for 4 to 12 hours. If you want to go for a meatier rib that's not cooked as hot, but takes longer, you can cook it at 145 degrees for 36 hours. But unless you got a lot of free time, that's a long time, almost 2 days to wait for your ribs to cook. But I have to admit, cooking sous vide at a lower temperature and longer time frame makes it come out delicious. So if you want to experiment, by all means, either go 165 for 4 to 12 hours or 145 for all the way up to 36 hours. So you get the hang of it. We're just going to coat these with that liquid smoke water, and we're going to sprinkle it with the dry rub. I've preheated my sous vide machine. It's around 89 degrees right now, and it'll get up to 165 probably the next 10-15 minutes. I'll let these ribs sit out here with the rub. We'll be back in a second when I get these things sealed in some food saver bags and get ready to put in the sous vide machine. So we'll be back in 1 second. All right, guys, welcome back. My sous vide machine just beeped. I started the timer at 12 hours. I'm not going to go the full 12 hours, but as long as it does 4, anything 4 plus is fine. So I'm just going to let them sit in there as long as possible till my mom arrives late afternoon, early evening. So I sealed these up with using my VacMaster, my food saver. You don't have to seal them, but I like to seal them because it helps everything kind of soak into the meat. I just put them in here with around 3 or 4 drops of that liquid smoke in each bag. You don't have to do anything because, like I said, when you seal it, it kind of forces the liquid smoke to go into the meat. And then I've had these kind of just hanging out in the refrigerator for around the last half hour while this heated up. So we are good to go. If you wanted to let them sit overnight, you could do that as well. But I'm pushed for time today, so I just let them sit for around a half hour. So now comes the easy part. We just put them in here, and I'm going to try to put 2 per side. And we're just going to let these things cook. This is the easiest part here of the whole process. Just want to make sure they're fully submerged. Boom. And how we're going to finish these off, I'm going to put them on a rack and I'm going to stick them in my oven. I'm going to put the broiler on probably around 400 degrees. And I'm going to put the rack up pretty close to the broiler. And I'm going to put these ribs on there. When I open these up, I'm going to coat them with a little bit of barbecue sauce. I like to use this Crisp Pits. You can use whatever sauce you like. And I'm just going to let it sit there 4 or 5 minutes till the sauce caramelizes a little bit. Add some more sauce. Do that 3 or 4 times, maybe 15, 18 minutes tops. And you are set. It's going to give it that taste. Now, if you want to do it in the barbecue grill, you can do that. But it's kind of icky, rainy day today. So I'm keeping with the theme of a smokeless rib without having to do a barbecue, without having to do a smoker. I'm going to do these all inside with the sous vide machine and with the regular oven that everyone has. So that's it, guys. 11 hours 57 minutes, 165 degrees. I'm going to let these things go. The hard part's done, so I'm just going to enjoy my afternoon with my son. I'll be back probably in 4 or 5 hours when it's early afternoon to do a beer review. We'll check the status of this, and we'll have some delicious baby back smoked ribs without a smoker later on this evening. So check back. I will see you a little bit later. Alright guys, welcome back. It's been almost 5 hours. So these are pretty much done now. As long as you go past hour number 4, you can see the juices collecting in the bag there. But you know what? I confirmed. My mom's on her way over. It's only around 3:30 in the afternoon, so we're not going to eat for a while. I'll just let these go. No harm, no foul. In fact, it'll probably make it taste even better. In the meantime, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm off. I'm going to try a new beer. Ballast Point Piper Down Scottish Ale. This is a company out of San Diego, a brewery. I tried one of their other beers for one of my videos called Sculpin, and it was very good. So I saw this one at the store, and I thought I better give it a shot. So let's see. Oh, I like the color already. It's a dark, much darker beer than I anticipated. Wow. I don't think I'm familiar with too many Scottish ales, but it's 5.3% alcohol. That's all I really know about it. Let's give it, kind of like a toffee, maybe coffee smell to it. Let's give it a shot here. Oh, malty. Definitely malty. Wow. And an aftertaste, a little bit like caramel, maybe? Maybe even bourbon. Oh, it's good. It's a little on the light side and very lightly carbonated. But it's got very good flavor. Oh, I like that. I'm going to enjoy that. That's probably the strongest thing I've had in the last week. And it's not too strong. It's very good. So, again, Ballast Point Piper Down Scottish Ale. I'm going to let these things, like I said, continue to cook. It seems like the longer they go, as long as you don't go over 12 hours, the longer they go, you have that huge time window when you're cooking with sous vide. And sometimes it's good to go towards the long end because the meat and the fat seem to break down in such a way while still keeping the meat super juicy. It takes on a different consistency that you're usually not used to trying in any other cooking method. You know, so that's why I really like the sous vide method. But anyway, we'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to enjoy this beer. I'll show you the next step in 2, 3, 4 hours whenever I'm back. And we'll be on our way to having some beautiful smoked ribs shortly. Hey guys, welcome back. These have been cooking now for around 7 hours, and I'm getting hungry. My mom's here with my son, so I'm done. It still could have gone on for as long as 5 more hours, but you know what? Like I said, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. I'm going to pull a couple of these out. Now the great thing about it, when they're in this condition right here, cooked and still sealed in the bag, you could just throw this in the freezer, or you could throw it in the fridge, and it could stay up there for 4 or 5 days, and then just, you know, just warm it up a little bit in the sous vide, and just finish it like I'm going to finish these, it's going to taste just as good. So that's awesome. So let's open one of these up here just so you guys take a look and see how they look like. It smells wonderful. Man, and these are perfectly cooked. Alright. Woo! I'm not going to do anything with this gravy just because I put the curing salt in there, or the au jus. Just going to get rid of that. But, yeah. Perfect. I'm going to dry them off with a paper towel here. And let them dry off for a little bit. Then I'm going to put them on a rack. Brush a little bit of barbecue sauce on there, and then we're just going to grill them, and we're going to put sauce on 2-3 times just to caramelize the outside, get them crispy, because the meat's already perfectly cooked. So let me get the rest of these out here and arranged on the pan. We'll be back in a second. I'll show you the next step. Alright guys, you want to get them out on this rack that you're going to cook them in the oven, and you just want to take your favorite barbecue sauce and spread it on both sides. Don't be shy, because you're going to have to do it a couple times as this cooks and caramelizes. But that's going to give it that smoky kind of barbecue taste that is missing right now. Although it's cooked perfectly, we need to add a little bit more flavor to top it off with that quick broil in the oven under a high heat. And continue to brush sauce on, like I said, just like I'm doing right now, maybe 3 or 4 times over 10-15 minutes you have it in there, just to get it nice and crispy. So I'm going to stick these in the oven. We'll be back in a second. I'll show you how they look like when they're done cooking. Alright guys, see I got it in the oven under broil. We're just going to keep putting some fresh sauce on there. It's going to dry out. Put another dose of sauce on it. Do that, like I said, 3 or 4 times every 3-4 minutes as it caramelizes. So just got a couple more minutes. We'll be back in a second. Check them out when they're all done. Alright guys, this is kind of how it should look like. A little bit crispy when you take it out of the oven. Just put a final dose of barbecue sauce. Brush it on there. Let it cool down a little bit because it's way too hot. It's still steaming quite a bit here. But we'll be back in a second to cut these open. Check them out. Welcome back guys. Here's the finished product. I cut up a couple little slabs here. Meat is so juicy. You can see it's got a little bit of that pinkness around the edge from that curing salt. Give it a little bit of the appearance of a smoke ring, and all that deliciousness cooked in. I haven't tried it yet, so let me give it a shot. The rest of the family's kind of shy. My son and my mom, you know how that goes, but you know what, I'm not shy. So I'm going to try it right here. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And like I said, I had to pull it a little bit off the bone. Oh, it is so juicy. And it's got that smoke flavor. Wow. I'm actually blown away. This was way better than what I thought how it would come out. My goodness. Guys, if you've never tried this, you don't need a smoker. Pick up a sous vide machine. You get one for as cheap, I think, as $100. Sometimes they're on sale for $100, $150. And wow, it's going to really change the way you cook food. It's wonderful. Like these other two, I'm probably just going to let these cook. I'll probably throw them in ice, put them in the fridge. I'll eat them later on in the week. I'll just finish them off in the oven like these. They'll be perfect. So this is a great way if you're having a party. You make all this ahead of time, and then you just heat it up basically for a few minutes, and it tastes like you've been slaving all day over the stove. It's like crazy. I mean, it really is. It's a perfect way to cook. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other cooking and sous vide videos. And I'll see you around next time. I'm going to be enjoying these ribs. See you next time. Bye.